Imagine waking up one day and finding you've got £0 in the bank. Nada. Zilch. How would you feel? Panic? Stressed? Now, what if I told you that 40% of people under the age of 55 are living that reality right now? Shocking, isn't it? Stick around because today we're diving deep into how much you should have saved by your age, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. We've all heard of keeping up with the Joneses, haven't we? It's easy to look at your mates, neighbours, and even Instagram influencers flaunting those lavish lifestyles and thinking, why can't I have that? Well, studies have shown that this kind of social comparison can make you feel inadequate. But here's the thing, it's not about where you are, it's about where you're going. So forget the Joneses and let's focus on you. Just to be clear though, I've been there myself, scrolling through Instagram, seeing people jet-setting around the world, driving fancy cars and living the high life. It used to make me feel like I was falling behind. But let me tell you something, the moment I stopped comparing myself to others and started focusing on my own journey, that is when the magic really started to happen. I started seeing results in my savings and my overall financial health. Alright, so let's dive into some of the numbers, but before we do, just remember that these are averages. Your personal circumstances might be different, and that is totally fine. Life isn't a one-size-fits-all situation here. According to the Office of National Statistics, here's how the average savings break down by age in the UK. So 18 to 24-year-olds, you're looking at £2,481, 25 to 34-year-olds, £3,544, 35 to 44-year-olds, £5,995, and 45 to 54, £11,013, and 55 to 64, £20,028, and then 65 to 74, a whopping £113,600. So where do you stand? Are you above or below the average? And if you're below, don't beat yourself up, life happens. The path to financial security is not a straight line for everyone. So let's put these numbers into some perspectives here for you so you can understand them a little bit more clearly. The average salary in the UK for a 25 to 34-year-old is around about 30 grand. If you're in this age bracket, you're likely in the early stages of your career and possibly still paying off some student loans or saving for your first home. Now, according to the 50-30-20 rule, you should be putting away 20% of your income for savings, which would mean £6,000 a year. But the average savings for this age group is just £3,544. That's a significant gap, but it's understandable when you think about the financial pressures many face today and the lack of financial literacy. As you move into the 35 to 44 bracket, you're likely to see a little peak in earnings. The average salary jumps to around about £40,000, yet the average savings are only £5,995. And for the 45 to 54 age group, with an average salary of £42,000, the average savings are £11,013. The gap between what you should and could save, it widens even further. So just remember, it's never too late to start or adjust your habits. The point is, most of us are not saving enough, but that doesn't mean that we can't start making changes today, and it's time to take action, but at your own pace and within your own means. Now, about that 50-30-20 rule, what does it actually mean? Well, supposedly 50% of your income should go to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% to your savings. But let's be honest, in today's economic climate, that really is more of a fantasy than an actual rule. You might find yourself like a 60-30-10 or even a 65-25-5 situation. Why? Well, people don't want to give up their lifestyles. They don't want to stop going out, traveling, or entertaining themselves, and sadly, it's their savings that takes the hit. But remember, it's your life and you have the power to change your financial future. Now let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind, and that is buying their first house. First-time buyer rates are plummeting. Why? Because you need a 5% deposit, and in most cases 10%, and with the average house price in the UK at 290 grand, that's a hefty sum that you'll need to fork out. The average age of a first-time buyer is now between 36 and 37. So if you're nowhere near that, don't worry, you've still got time to work towards it. And compare that to the average savings for the people in that age bracket, and you'll see there's a shocking disparity. Now, these numbers don't tell the whole story. Your employment status, income level, education, and even marital status can affect how much you can save. For instance, if you're self-employed, you might find it harder to consistently save due to your fluctuating income. But let's zoom out a little bit and look at some macroeconomic factors here. Things like inflation, interest rates, and economic stability can also play a role. Inflation erodes your purchasing power today, meaning your money today might be worth less tomorrow. Low interest rates can discourage saving and the returns are minimal. And let's not forget economic downturns, they can make make saving seem like an impossible task. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the rising costs of living. We're in 2023, the UK economy is retracting. The Russia-Ukraine war has led to skyrocketing energy costs and inflation is currently through the roof. So what does this mean for you? Well, if things are getting more expensive and your wages aren't keeping up and businesses are downsizing, your ability to save is going to take a hit. So don't let that worry you. Just try and do what you can and keep on your own path. Now let's talk about investing. You might be wondering, why aren't more people investing? Because the number does actually contribute to your savings amount and is in those averages we spoke about before. Well, 60% according to a recent survey are not investing because they believe that they don't have enough money, and another 25% say they don't understand the stock market. But here's the real kicker. Investing can actually be your ticket towards financial freedom. So don't let the myths and misconceptions hold you back. You can invest these days from as little as £1, so getting started now will really help. Alright, so let's talk about some solutions. Here are some tips to help you boost your savings. Now, number one is set yourself some financial goals. You need to know where you're heading. Is that early retirement? Are you saving for an emergency fund? Whatever it is, have a plan. Number two, create a budget. You can't manage what you don't measure. So get your finances in order. Number three is boost your income. Have you ever thought about a side hustle? Now might be the time to start one. Try and increase your income. It gives you more to save over the long term. Number four is leverage technology. These apps are smarter than you and I put together, so use them. Manage your spending and savings better using technology. Now let's dive into some of the best saving apps out there. Right now there's Plum. This app analyzes your saving and spending, automatically sets aside an amount that you can actually afford to save using AI. It's super cool. Number two is Monzo. Now I use this. It's best known for its budgeting features. It has pots which you can help you separate your savings from your spending money, and I use the roundup feature on Monzo, so all of the spending on my card gets rounded up to the nearest pound. Number three is Chip. Now Chip has a really high interest savings account, and it also uses AI to help you save and calculate how much you can afford to save each month. These apps are absolute game changers. Make sure you use them and make your saving effortless. Right, so there we have it. Now you know how much you should ideally have saved by your age, and if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more financial talk like this. Until next time, keep saving and keep thriving, and we'll see you soon.